And so I took it as a challenge and decided that I would document pretty much daily a trade that I'm going to do and show you exactly how I did it, what I did, what my thought process was, everything that I went through. And maybe, I don't know, maybe that'll help you guys understand if you're buying, or maybe you can relate and see what you think. So Bros was definitely a stock that we had been talking about probably in the last two meetings. So probably about 4 weeks. I think when we first brought it up, it was running pretty high, and I was impressed with kind of how well it does in the spread that it has. So I picked this stock as one that I wanted to go ahead and document. And I do have channels on here. This is what we've been talking about a lot lately. We've also talked about the max and the stochastics. So I have all of this information on here, and this day was would have been last Thursday, so like a week and a half ago. And so at the time, this is what the chart looked like. This is what I was looking at. And these were all the conditions that I saw. The relative strength is coming up, the max it's a little high, but or not the max, the stochastic, it's a little high at 60, but I like it. It's not over 80. It's not saying it's oversold yet. It's showing a positive trend here. The MACD, and I know it's tiny, but it did start to cross, and there's a teeny tiny little green bar there for the histogram. So that's all good. We're showing an uptrend. It's starting to move up in this channel. So I found that to be really positive. I was concerned about the volume is trending down, which tends to mean it's losing some momentum, right? So maybe this is as high as it goes, and it's going to come back down. So I don't know. What do you guys think? If you were to look at this, would you guys buy? Does anybody want to buy this?
I would consider.
Wouldn't buy it at this point, no.
No. Anybody else?
I buy, but I've been buying everything in sight, so.
You go, girl. I love it. All right. So
I would.
You would? Okay.
And you know why? Can we go back?
Yeah.
It's because I'm a true believer in the channel.
Okay.
And that and the candles, which we'll talk about later.
Yes, that is definitely.
Which you guys don't have the advantage yet of understanding that. But yeah, those two things alone, the others are laggards. And so, you know, with the exception of the volume, good thing to point out there. But anyway.
Yeah. So who said no? Jeff, you said no?
I said no, but I'm looking, my channels look different on my chart than what you're showing on your screen.
Okay. Well,
I don't know if I have an old script or what, because I've not put a new script
I
in
do redraw all this stuff and put it out so I can get images for the presentation.
Okay.
Is that the auto chart?
These are not the auto ones.
Oh, so okay, that's the manual. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. So anyway, I decided I was going to jump in. Now, where do I want to jump in, right? So this is a minute chart. This is where it closed on that Thursday, up here around 53, right? And we remember from the previous, we had 3 really good, strong days trading right there. But the volume was coming down, which kind of concerned me that there might be a little bit of a pullback. So in the after hours trading, you can see there was a pullback. This is what's happening overnight, right? It dropped from 53 to 51 and a half here. So I knew I wanted to jump in, but I'm trying to figure out where do I want to jump in? So we've talked about using Webull before. I think a lot of you got the Webull app. It will show you where the highest interest is in that. And so I was looking it up first thing in the morning before the market opened, and it's showing me most of the interest is around 51.23. I can watch the after hours. It's starting to look like it's going to open around 51.50. So I'm still contemplating where do I want to jump in at this. I know the previous day opened at 48. It closed at 53. So that's what, like a 5-point spread right there. I know on an average, this stock swings a bunch. So it has a 5 to 6 point spread. So all this information came into account on me putting in my order. And this is all happening before the market opened. So does anybody want to take a guess? What did I put an order in? What would you buy it at? Somebody throw it out. I'm obviously not going to buy up here, right? Not if the market opens here. I'm going to buy down below.
You probably bought it like 51 or 50.75, somewhere around there.
Anyone else want to guess? All right.
I would assume midway.
Okay. Well,
Between
here
those
is,
two. Did you take the average?
this is where I put in my order.
Okay.
So, and I say a soft order just because, and by soft, I mean, like, don't go all in, right? I'm not putting everything in there. The market is still scary. The war is still kind of crazy. So I'm not buying with everything that I have. So I made a small order, and I put in a limit order at 49.50, and I chose 49.50 mainly because I was expecting a pullback. And I know this spread can be 4 to 6 points, meaning it could go up 2 to 3 and it could come down 2 to 3 in any day that it's trading. So if it's going to open around 51.50, I know the interest on Webull's down below that. I picked 2 points below that open and put my order in there, and I was going to wait and see what happened. So that was my plan. Here is the very next day. And remember, I said it might pull back. It definitely pulled back. So, and my order did trigger. You can tell by the candle here. This is where it traded for the day. This is 49.50. So it did go down low enough for that order to kick off. So now I own the shares. So what does that mean? What do I do now? Does anybody have an idea? Do you just sit back and drink your margarita and wait to make your millions?
Trust in your analysis.
Cheers.
Yeah, see, right. So right after that order triggered, the first thing that I did, now I own it. The first thing I did was, how much do I want to make? How much am I expecting to make off of this purchase right here? And I think the first time I ran through this, I might have aimed a little high, around 25% or so, and came back and did some recalculating at 20%. So I'm comfortable making 20% right now on a quick swing trade. I think that's a really good profit. So doing the math, just simple math, what you bought it out to 20% and add it in, that tells me I want to be able to sell this stock at 59.40. And what I really wanted to do was check and make sure it falls within this channel, right? When I put 25% in, I'm up here, and I'm not confident that I can make that, but I am confident if I stay within this channel. It's been traveling within here. It looks really good. It's strong. It's got a nice pattern. So I think if I put my order in at 59.40, that's where I felt really comfortable. So that was the first thing I did as soon as I bought it, was I went ahead and created a limit order, and I set it up good to cancel, because I don't expect this to get all the way up here to 59.40 in one day. I have a feeling it's might take a week or more, or even more than that. So I went ahead and put it in good to cancel. And then at that point, am I done? Right? Do I drink my margarita now? Do I just sit back, wait for that order to go off?
Just cross the fingers.
Yeah, right. Cross your fingers, drink your margarita. I did another thing. So the next thing I did was I want to make sure I'm protecting my money. So I don't want to lose all this money. And this is the biggest thing that we have a problem with, right? Is when to sell. So I created my sell order at the high end, but what I also want to do is protect myself at the bottom end. And I decided I was willing to risk 12% of my investment. If this stock falls 12%, that's it. I'm out. So just like before, I did the simple calculation here, and I found out 12% down from where I bought it at is 43.56. And I went over here and checked. 43.56 actually falls outside of the channel, which made me feel good. If it falls in the channel, I might actually lose this profit before I even give it a chance to go up. And the reason for that is this stock is trading within this channel right here, and it could very well just follow this channel and keep going in an upward direction. I don't want to kick myself out too soon. So I want to make sure I'm outside of this channel when I put in my alert to tell me that it has fallen too far and it's broken the pattern. When it breaks the pattern, you want to get out, right? And you can see here in a couple of days, it has fallen down below the channel, but it's not, other than this day, it's really not closing below it. So what I did then was to create an alert for not losing the money. And we've talked about different orders. You can put in a stop loss order. There's a reason for why I don't do that. And some of you who've been on here, we've talked about this before. If you go ahead and place a stop loss order, there are bots out there that will see that order. If I put in an order that says I'm willing to sell this stock at 43.56 and it's trading up here right now, there is a bot that will push that stock down, kick off my order, and I am out of money, and it just goes straight back up. So I never actually place a real order for below market value like that to sell it, unless I mean to sell it right then and there that day. So I created an alert, and let's see if we can go. I did put some links in here for everybody. Here's how to set up alerts if you're not already using them. Here's also a link that kind of explains the different order types if you still need to know more about that. So all on this same day, this one day where I made this purchase, right? I now have a limit order to sell, which is actually placed, and I have an alert to let me know if this basically breaks the channel. So that was my big trading day. And at this point, I'm like, oh, okay, now I can relax and drink the margarita and keep my fingers crossed, and then just watch it. So the very first day, as I'm hoping it goes up, it immediately went down, which is not what you want. I was kind of getting really concerned that maybe this was going to be an example. I'm documenting exactly how alerts work. And so this is kind of how I was feeling that day. I'm like, ah. So I watched this stock 2 days, right? It traded below what I bought it at. It stayed low. I was somewhat concerned, but it didn't actually fall below the channel. So that kind of gave me some confidence that it is still following within this channel. It's doing what it's supposed to do. The volume did continue to stay down. The stochastics got a little bit higher, so a little bit closer to being overbought. So that was concerning. So basically, this purchase in these first few days, I was concerned. But the name of the game here is patience. So hang on there. I know that this may take a little bit of time. So here we are a couple days later, right? And it did start to move up. And that was what I was really, woohoo, we're finally doing what I was excited about, what I wanted it to do, right? But we didn't get high enough to kick off my limit order yet. I watched this day. This is a huge day right there. And when you get big, powerful days like that, they are almost always followed with a little pullback because it was too powerful in a way. So I'm concerned that there's going to be a pullback. And again, it may not hit my limit order here. This is Thursday. So at this point, I've been in it basically for a full week. So let's move on. This is the very next day. This is still my order right here. It did have a little pullback overnight, shot right up. Here I am all nice and excited. My order's about to trigger, and it didn't. It fell. So that's me for the whole day. I'm watching this stock, like going, okay, is this going to trigger? Is this going to trigger? Is this going to happen? I was going nuts. It shot right up, got up. Can't remember exactly what the high was, but high enough, it kicked off my order. And I sold my stock. So
The high was 60. So you did a good job. Yeah.
Okay.
Nicely
So
done.
So
Yeah.
that's pretty good. This was Friday. This was yeah, just on Friday. So a little over a week. What is that? Six days. I sold something and I made 20%. That was exactly what we want to do. Get in, find something, do a quick swing trade, especially right now in this market. We talk about this, that there's just too much influence from the chaos that's going on in the world that's pushing the market around a lot and having a lot of negative impact. So get in, get out, make your money. And Todd, I know you've talked about not knowing when to sell. Put your sell order in as soon as you buy it. Know where you want to get out.
Yeah, it seems easier than, like, you did a great job presenting this. It seems really easy, but yes, I keep getting a little bit too greedy and then I wait too long, and I'm sure we've all experienced that.
Yes.
As we get into it.
Yes.
Hey, Andy, did you find this stock off of one of our scans, or like one of the scans that we do?
I did not. I had it recommended in a different group that I was in. It came up, and I've just been watching it for probably about a month now. Because when we were originally looking at it, it was at the upper ends of the channel. The stochastics were really high, and I knew I did not want to get into it at that point. That would have been buying it back here and watching it fall all the way down. And we looked at it, I think, at the last meeting and talked about this stock, but it was right before earnings.
All right.
Remember, and I said, I don't recommend buying anything right before earnings. You don't know. So I didn't, I waited. And I was really just waiting to see, it did really well for earnings. So that was good. And I was just waiting to see if it was going to bounce off the bottom of this channel and start showing a positive trend. And as soon as it did that, I knew that I wanted to try to jump in and give this a run. So that was my week, and phew, I'm super glad that it worked out, because I did not want to have to give this presentation and say, this is how you don't want to make a trade. And this is traffic kick out down here. So phew, I'm glad it was a positive to share with all of you. And my goal is to find another one. I'm already looking at a couple other stocks that I plan on trying to do the same thing. So we'll see if it can happen before the next meeting. How much seat? And I did talk for a long time. So I did have some additional things, but I'm going to push them off to the next meeting so Mayor can go over the candlesticks. I have a couple slides on some of the fundamentals and technicals and things like that, but I'm going to stop sharing. We'll do this next time, and I will let Mayor take over.
Okay, let's see.
That was really helpful, Andy.
Yeah, that was really, really good.
Yeah. I'm glad you like it, because I didn't know if that's beneficial for everybody to see what my thought process is, or if y'all just think I'm kind of kooky and.
No, can I show one thing?
Sure. Do you want me to go back to my slides, or?
No, I've
Okay.
got it. I just wanted
Okay.
to. You guys see it?
Yes, we see your screen. Whoops. Now we don't.
What's that?
I don't see your screen. I saw your chart for a second, but now we're on just your background.
Oh, okay, let's see. Oh, running?
Yes. And that's where I want to run.
Okay. Do you see it now?
Yes.
Okay, this is great, Andy. What I just wanted to show also is these are the resistance lines that we had talked about last week. And if you notice here, the resistance was hit. It hit it exactly 40, 60 days ago. So the expectation then is that this thing will probably come back down a little bit. That's what I'm thinking. But this is also another nice marker to see where the resistance was prior in determining where the stock might go. But I think it's really good to have a percent of when you want to get out. I think that's even more important. But I just wanted to show you guys this.
Yeah, and I will say, I mean, the goal now that I'm out, right? We talk about this. I don't necessarily want to go staring at that stock on Monday when the market opens and go, oh my God, I should have stayed in and made that extra $2 or whatever it is.
Yeah, exactly.
The goal is set your goal, put your order in there, make the profit that you want to make, and get out and don't look back. Find your next opportunity. Don't sit there and begrudge the little bit that you didn't scrape off the top.
Yep, because it's rare that you ever hit the mark perfectly.
Yep.
And especially now, I couldn't agree more. Yeah, define how much you want to make, how much you're willing to lose, and then stick to the plan.
Right.
You really got to do that. Stick to the plan and you'll be okay. Okay, so let me share.